Newsflash, not everybody is going to appreciate what you have to say. Not everybody's going to listen to your messaging. Not everyone's going to buy from you. Most people aren't going to give you the time of day. They're not going to like what you have to say. They might not even like you. They're not going to want to give you the time of day. They won't want to meet with you. They are never going to do business with you. That's okay. You want to know why? Because you're not there to try and get everyone to become your client. What you're trying to do is find the accounts that want to do business with you and get the others all weeded out. We have to pull the weeds and get them out of there so that you can find the people that resonate with you. How do you do that? That's what we're going to be talking about on today's episode. Stay tuned. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Millionaire Insurance Producer Podcast. My name is Charles Specht, and I am glad to be with you today. And as I normally do, we just dive into this thing. However, commercial break. Why? Because as I've been mentioning it lately, the Permission Producer School is going to be launching on March 3rd. It goes from March 3rd to March 7th. So when this podcast comes out, I believe this one's going to come out on February 27th on Thursday. So starting the next Monday right after that is Permission Producer School. So if you're hearing this, you've only got about 48 hours, potentially maybe 72 hours to actually get signed up for the Permission Producer School. It goes from March 3rd to March 7th. I'm giving you an A to Z playbook on do this, do this, do this, do this, to set you up to be able to write a $100,000 of commission in the first 6 to 9 months, $250,000 in the first, say, 15 to 18 months, and really to build a $1 million or more book of business over the course of about a 3 to 4 year period. That's the goal. We go over everything from micro niching to messaging to what to say in a first appointment to really, I'm going to be focusing a lot of time and attention in this next cohort of how to get signed broker record letters. We're going to spend a considerable amount of time with the group that's in the Permission Producer School come March 3rd. So go to permissionproducerschool.com to learn a little bit more, and you can even register right there, permissionproducerschool.com. Now, back to the episode at hand today. I have lots of clients from all over the board on where they're from. Some producers are like brand new. They've just gotten into the insurance business and they barely just got licensed. In fact, sometimes I even talk to insurance agents who have been hired, but they haven't even got their license yet. And they are talking to me. They're doing some other things, and they're also like preparing to eventually take the test, hoping just to pass. So I deal with some of those producers. I have other producers who've been in the business 2, 3, 6, 7 months. Others have been in the business for several years. Some have been in the business for quite some time, and they're looking for a renewal, a refresh, a push to go back and actually do the thing that producers are good at, and that is hearing the word yes, going in for the kill, being a predator, and actually winning new business. That is fun for a producer. But I just want to remind you that not everybody is going to resonate with your message. Not everybody will. Some will completely ignore your message. Some might even respond to you with hate because of your message. Most people, however, will simply just click the delete button, ignore it, not respond to you whatsoever, which at the end of the day, we might refer to all of this as rejection. Raise your hand if you like to be rejected. I mean, frankly, most people don't like to be rejected. I'm sure you don't like to be rejected. I don't like to be rejected. We want to hear the word yes. We want our prospects to say, yep, absolutely. Let's go ahead and meet. We want our prospects to say, yes, absolutely. I want to give you the signed broker of record letter. You can be my agent going forward. We all want to hear that. But there has to be a lot of no's to get to the yes. There are a lot of haters along the road to success. There are a lot of weeds to pick out of the flower bed. There are just a lot of things you have to ignore in order to find your people. So think about how many times you have to make cold calls before you can even get a decision maker on the telephone. How many times do you just leave voicemail after voice message after voice message? How many times do you speak to gatekeepers and they simply just won't patch you through? You think they're taking down the message, but you're not sure. I mean, how many times do you have to make calls before you can actually get a decision maker on the phone? And then based upon how many those are, how many of them actually say, okay, sure, let's go ahead and meet. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fraction of the overall prospecting efforts that you're putting out. And that is a large amount of rejection and wasted time, so to speak. We have to wade through all of the numbers, all of the effort, all of the rejection in order to get to the people who say yes. That's what you have to do. You got to keep going until you hear the word yes. That's what you do. Now, I want to give you just a few pieces of just reminder about how beautiful this can work. Okay, so I think I've mentioned it like in the last few days or few weeks. Like I've had, one of my clients who's brand new, she got like a big broker of record letter. Another one did a testimonial for me and was telling me about some of the success she got. I was like, okay, I just want to like mention it. Okay, so one of the clients, a brand new producer, been in the business for like 2.5, 3 months, has been prospecting, working on stuff, got her micro niche going, got her messaging, and she gets a broker of record letter awarded to her on a $50,000 commission account. So not 50 grand of premium, 50 grand of commission. Been in the business for like 2-3 months. Been in the insurance business for 2 or 3 months. But the messaging is right. The process is right. We do the work and we get good results. And like, I fully suspect that brand new producer is probably going to have about a $350,000 new business year if she keeps doing what she's doing. You just have to wade through the waters of prospecting and allow the waves of rejection just to bounce off you. You can't be bothered with the rejection because you have to get through enough no's in order to get to the right yeses. You just have to. Prospecting, my friends, at the end of the day is a numbers game. Now, selling insurance, that's a relationship game. That's a relationship business. Selling insurance is about relationship. But prospecting is a numbers game. It's a numbers game. You got to do the numbers. You got to do the calls. You got to do the emails. You got to do the walk-in visits, the networking events, the referrals, and so forth. You keep pushing to get enough yeses so that you can be ultra successful. So you have to do the work. Ignore the haters. Another client of mine, Alexa, she just did a testimonial video for me. I put it on YouTube. I think I put it on YouTube like a day later. It's got like 180 views. Like she's just awesome. She's got an agency down in Miami, personalized agency, and she is herself is sort of morphing into doing more commercial sales and spend some time really trying to figure out what her micro niche is going to be. And she had some initial success, got a decent sized account, and then ultimately got like a significantly large account for her and her agency, like some $320,000 premium account. And for her, who's always used to just writing personal lines and is now just tiptoeing into the commercial space, this is a major win in the right direction. And so I emailed her and I said, or sent her a text message. I said, now all you have to do is do this 5 or 6 more times this year. Just do this 5 or 6 more times this year. And if she does that, she's going to have like a couple $100,000 of commission coming in on just 5, 6, 7 different accounts. How many different business owners do you have to work on for prospecting in order to set appointments and then to meet with them and to get the word yes, sign a broker of record letter, win through a quoting process? It's a numbers game. Push the numbers. You have to be wise when you're doing the prospecting, say the right things and learn. You can learn so that you can say things better, say things more appropriately, really get to the heart of the issue. But you have to do the work. You literally have to do the work. Nobody can do the work for you unless you outsource it. And you can do that as well, my friends. I have some insurance clients of mine that actually outsource their prospecting so that they get to do the fun thing of simply just meeting with prospects and working towards the broker of record letter. If you don't have that luxury to be able to hire somebody to do the prospecting for you, to set the appointments, then do the work. This is what you got hired for. You got hired to prospect, set appointments, close business. This is what you did. You got to prospect, set appointments, close business. This is your primary duty. Your first function, prospect. Prospect, prospect, prospect. Expect rejection. Even though you might be the best agent out there with the best insurance agency, the best carriers, and the best policy, the best negotiating skills, you can lower the premium by working with your underwriters, whatever. You might be the best. But unless the business owner meets with you, it's rejection. And so just keep pushing. Keep doing the work. Keep doing the numbers. get people to say yes, and then you have new clients. How many of those do you have to have? Well, this is the difference between a quantity play versus a quality play. If you're working on quantity, then maybe you're working on maybe not necessarily small accounts, but maybe more smaller accounts. But the expectation is that you're going to be able to write a lot of those over the course of the year. And I would say if you go with that quantity play, you got to make sure that they are not high service related types of accounts so that you can then write those and not have to worry about a lot of service over the course of the year. Now, that can be a really good option because if you lose a few of them over the course of time, it's not going to hurt as much. But it is a quantity play, which means you got to be doing a lot of work. Now, the quantity play is the right decision for certain producers at certain industry agencies in certain parts of the United States of America. It just depends. Each person is different. Now, if you don't like the idea of the quantity play, then you can go with the quality play. By that, I mean, we're not trying to get lots of accounts. We're trying to get the quality of the account that we want. A certain commission size, a certain sophistication of the account, and then we don't have to write a bunch of them. We just have to get a fair number of them. I kind of look at this as like you're 50. Find your 50. If you had 50 accounts that were paying 20 grand of commission each, that's $1 million book of business. You just need 50 accounts who are going to say yes to you. 50 business owners around the world that all premiums combined, brings about 20 grand of commission. There are plenty of those types of accounts out there. You just got to find your 50. Just find your 50. Keep prospecting until you find your 50. You don't have to write 50,000 clients. You don't have to get 50,000 business owners to say yes to you. You just need to find your 50 or your 20 or your whatever. I was talking with a brand new client of mine today. This was the first time we had our one-on-one coaching client, and we were just talking. And I mentioned, another agent that I know. He has 13 clients. They're 100 grand of commission each, and he doesn't want 14 clients. He just likes his 13. He's got a $1.3 million book of business. He's very happy with where he's at. That's a beautiful thing. That's the insurance business. You get to build what you want to build. And for him, 13 clients, 100 grand of commission each was exactly what he wanted. So he had a quality type of business, and he was very happy with what he had. What are you building? So like that first one I mentioned, she got a $50,000 commission account. Well, she's going to be able to write a bunch of those, I think, over the course of the year because there's a lot, and she's doing stuff in her agency that's doing multi-state. So she's going to be very, very, very successful. The next producer that I mentioned, Alexis down in Florida, is going after certain accounts called condos and so forth, HOAs, but condos, large condo associations. There's a bunch of them in Florida. She should be able to have a lot of success going forward. She should become, this is what I told her. I said she should become a millionaire in just a few years if she stays focused and on track. And I know that she will. You don't have to be the biggest insurance agency that's out there. In fact, you can be working at a small, medium-sized firm and give it sort of a boutique feel with a hand-holding approach to customer service, and that will be more than sufficient for what is needed. But you got to work through the rejection. You got to weed out all the no's. You got to weed out all the people who aren't going to be your 50. That's okay. It's like you're searching for the needle in the haystack. You're searching for the great pearl that's out there in the ocean. You're trying to find that perfect treasure. Here's another example, and I'll kind of start to end the podcast with this. I joked about it on LinkedIn today. I sent a post on LinkedIn, but because I'm focused right now on the Permission Producer School, which again, permissionproducerschool.com, I'm focused on that, trying to get some people into the program. And so I sent an email to my list of insurance agents. And this list is people who have downloaded my free PDF, over the last several years, whatever it is. And so it goes out to several thousand, insurance agents whenever I send it out. And somebody responded with like a grammatical problem, like this is the dumbest email ever, something like that. And what's interesting is because even though I've never had the pleasure of meeting this particular insurance agent, it's from a bigger agency that's a top 100 agency. And that agency had me as their trainer for quite some time before he ever came to that particular agency. So I didn't mention that to him. I just let it kind of slide. I just said, thank you very much. Appreciate you. Have a great day. He was making fun of the email. That's okay. I don't care. I've got several thousand people on the list, and I know most of them are not going to be somebody who pays me money. They're not going to be my client. I have to weed through the rejection, weed through that. Why am I not concerned about it? Because that one email that had, that he didn't think was great, I've already received 3 new clients on it today. Like, they're not a huge amount, but it's $1,500 in my pocket at $497 each. So I made $1,500 by sending an email. 3 people responded because they want to be in the program. Because of this guy, should I be sad? No, I'm not going to be sad. I can learn and try to do better every single time. I can take every piece of information that comes in and I can use the criticism and the education in order to get better. I do believe what the Bible teaches is that there is wisdom in a multitude of many counselors, and I can take the counsel, regardless of whether it's supposed to be positive or negative. I can take the counsel, and use it so that I can get better. But I'm not going to just stop the process and put my head in the sand because some people might not necessarily enjoy it. They don't appreciate it. Okay, there's just people who are not going to do business with me. That's all right. We don't necessarily have to do business together. The same goes with you and your prospects. Not everybody is going to like you, even if they're in your micro niche, even if you know that they would be well served by you. They're just not going to do business with you. Don't sweat it, my friends. Don't sweat it. Keep going. Don't slow down. Keep making the calls. Keep sending the emails. Keep going to the networking events. Keep doing what you know you have to do in order to get success, because there ain't nothing stopping you from getting the success except you. You are the only thing that can stop you from achieving success. Don't let the naysayers, the rejectors, keep you from being victorious in what you want to do. Don't ever give up. Don't slow down. Keep prospecting, because there are plenty of business owners out there even right now that if you called them, they would probably sign your broker of record letter today. They're looking for a new agent, and you just happen to be the one who got in contact with them at the right time, provided the right sort of timeline of services in the right micro niche. It could be a perfect thing for you. But you will never find those people. They will never find you if you don't prospect. If you don't prospect, that's on you. But I know you're better than that. That's why you're listening to the Millionaire Insurance Producer Podcast, because you know that you can do this. You know that you can be better. You know that you can write this business. You know that you can get people to say yes, to choose you. You know this. It's just a matter of doing the work. And I know that you can do it. And so do your agency principals, and so do the people that are around you. So does your spouse. So do your friends. They know you can do it. It's just a matter of you doing it. So cut through the weeds. Ignore the rejectors, but learn from the criticism. But reject that which is like just negative. It's not real. It's not true. And continue to focus doing what you're doing. Get better at what your craft is. Equip yourself so that you can get the best results from what you're trying to do. But you got to put in the time. You got to put in the effort. You have to do the actual work. Numbers. You got to have the numbers. Prospecting is a numbers game. Selling insurance is a relationship game. So with that said, you might be thinking, man, sounds great, Charles. Love it. Appreciate it. How do I do that? Well, look, I'm sorry that most insurance agencies don't have what I would call any sort of like strategic or thorough sales training. I get it. It just is what it is. It's part of our industry. And that's why I have what I do. I try to help people. And if you feel like you don't have a strategic process for prospecting, you don't even know what your micro niche is, you don't even know who you should be calling, you should come to the Permission Producer School, because focusing on the micro niche is probably like an entire day to day and a half of what we go through, because getting that right is probably one of the most important things that you can do. So the micro niche is important. We focus on your messaging, what to say, what your cold call carrot is. I give you examples on how to put together your timeline of services so you can see what it looks like. I mean, we do this work and you're going to get really good results. So if you don't know exactly what to do or how to do it, I would say just come to the Permission Producer School. It starts March 3rd and it goes through the 7th, so just a week. It's about 2.5 hours on a virtual Zoom each day. They are recorded, so if you are sick, you miss a day, whatever it is, you can go back and you can watch those on demand for up to 30 days after the completion of the course anyway. So it comes with a workbook, PDF workbook. I teach the curriculum. I answer questions from the participants. We work through examples. You're going to have a full-blown strategic plan from A to Z on what to do so that you can build your book of business to $1 million or more. Go to www.permissionproducerschool.com. Permissionproducerschool.com. Don't miss out on this opportunity. The last one I did was 4 months ago. I don't have any plans to do another one anytime real soon. I'm sure I will again in 2025, but I'm just focused on the people that want to do it right now. So if you're thinking about it, I would say pull the trigger. This is a great opportunity for you because we're at the beginning of 2025 and we can really begin to accelerate going forward in the year. Permissionproducerschool.com. My name is Charles Specht. I am the CEO and main trainer of teaching insurance agents on how to build a $1 million or more book of business through signed broker of record letters. This is the Millionaire Insurance Producer Podcast.